the hostess with the most.
All right, let's do it. We are Eat, Talk, Repeat. We're obviously on location. I am your host, Ash Watkins. You can find me on all platforms at Ash the Attorney. I've got my food critic with all the bona fides with me, as always.
Who's that?
You.
Oh.
Introduce yourself.
I'm John Curtis, the grumpy gastronome, the thorn in her side.
Always.
Okay, and
Always.
eatinglv.com, Instagram at John Curtis, and Twitter at Eating Las Vegas. Okay.
And as always, you can find us at Eat, Talk, Repeat on all platforms. Go to our website, eattalkrepeat.com. We now have a weekly newsletter. Be sure to subscribe. It drops every Wednesday, bright and early, that you can enjoy with your cup of coffee and croissant. And as we're here, we've obviously got a special guest. We've got Joe Mikulich of the Edo Hospitality Group.
Hold on. Finally, I can learn how to correctly pronounce his name.
I know. It's a weird one.
Okay, give it to me again.
Mikulich.
Oh, I did it right.
Yeah, you crushed it.
You said it perfectly right.
How do you say it? Mikulich?
Mikulich.
I've heard that all the time. It gets botched all the time, so don't feel bad.
So you don't mind anyway.
I don't mind at all. No.
So the UCH there is just a lick, not a look.
Itch.
Lish.
Itch. Mikulich.
Mikulich, not a look.
Exactly.
Okay. Finally.
This guy.
I'll have to ask you 10 more times
That's okay.
before the end. Mikulich.
Well, Joe, thanks for making this happen. We're really excited. As you can tell, we are at the newest, latest, and greatest restaurant of the Edo Hospitality Group, Braseria.
Yeah, thank you.
As of right now, when this episode drops, you'll maybe be in like week 2 of everything.
Yeah. Grand opening is tomorrow.
Okay.
So Tuesday. But we did like the soft openings when we had you come dine and the play dates and friends and families and whatnot. So now we're getting to the swing of it now, officially tomorrow.
Well, it's exciting. I know we all obviously know the pedigree of EDO. You guys have had a major impact on our community with EDO Tapas, which is now Amadar, but then Anima, which is up in the southwest, right?
Yep.
Southwest.
Yep.
Kind of more down in the southwest.
Down, yes,
The
down.
North is up.
In north,
South
yes.
is
Down in the southwest, you'll
She needs
find
correcting
Anima.
a lot. Okay.
Then you ventured to the Pacific Northwest with
Laloba.
La
La Loba.
Like she-wolf.
She-wolf.
Laloba.
La Loba. And now here we are on Paradise Road in the Collective. I feel like this has been in the works for a while.
Very long time. Yeah. I mean, we were approached about this location for a while ago. Roberto was very keen on this spot, and the deal didn't make sense with the location, the owners. Finally, after like 4 or 5 years and attempts of renegotiating, they came to an agreement with us. So then it kind of came to fruition.
Yeah, eventually a landlord needs to fill the space.
Sure.
And they know you guys and how your ability is to draw energy and traffic to anywhere.
With a huge local following
Yes.
now, too. But you're going to get way beyond the local following with this place.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah, and so EDO, the original spot, was kind of like this intimate little shoebox of a restaurant in Chinatown with a tasting menu and tweezers, which it was still one of the first restaurants I ever discovered in Las Vegas. And I remember our marketing girl set us up there for a lunch, and I had no idea where I was. I look up, it's like foot spas, karaoke, everything. And I'm going,
noodle parlors.
yes. And I go, where am I? And the sign is very small.
Yeah.
And we sent a photo and we're like, this is where you sent us to lunch. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I will find something else. We walk inside and immediately we're blown away, stunned. We're like, nope, we're staying. We're here. Loved it. It was a gem. And honestly, and then you opened Anima.
Yep.
And that opened in what, 2022, I believe?
22. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was just like a resounding success and kind of an evolution, right?
Definitely.
I think it was Restaurant of the Year in Desert Companion magazine, or Oscar got Chef of the Year. There's a lot of accolades.
We got blessed with that.
Poured your way right out of the chute. It was great.
It's been, all these new restaurants. I think that we're still small group business. Like we self-funded ourselves with EDO. So it like to see how we've grown as a business to like do something cool like this restaurant is pretty wild. But yeah, it's Oscar, we were blessed with EDO and Anima getting the best new restaurant of the year, and then some other awards with regards to that. But Anima was great for us. It's been amazing.
Well, you mentioned the evolution of the group. What brought you, besides just physically here with the landlord kind of luring you back, but here and then doing Braseria? What was the thought behind that evolution?
First of all, before he says, you knew this used to be a Brazilian steakhouse, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
For decades. Yeah. It was the first.
I looked at some photos.
Of it. It was.
I'll show you photos of the before and after. I mean, it was like a churrascaria before like Fogo de Chão kind of came in.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Yep.
Like it was the only one in town, I think, for a long time.
Totally.
Yeah.
So and then it sat empty for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was pretty dilapidated, but the new owners gave us a pretty cool budget to build this up and make it nice. But
stunning.
I think what drew us to this location was as the group kept growing, we had a lot of ties to the Strip. And a lot of people recognized us or followed us from when I was at Bazaar, still wanted to support us. But Anima was a little bit too far away. We got some of that business from tourism and stuff like that. But Anima is much more driven from local support. EDO was just a little bit too small to really take any group of size. They really had 35 seats that could fit. So we were limited on what we could do. This kind of checks a box where we could have a bigger footprint. A lot of that larger group convention tourism business can come here because we're now half a mile away from the Strip.
You really are. And you also have a big space. What is it, like 5,000 square feet or something?
Yeah, this can sit, if we're not talking about the patio, about 120 people.
All right. And it's giving Paris.
Wow.
It's giving Paris.
Definitely got a brasserie vibe going on in here, which is,
thank you.
Who's the designer? Who did it?
So, I mean, I will not take any of that credit on the design side.
Take the credit.
Roberto has the eye for design, and then in tangent with close friends of ours, they have a company of design, and Roberto and her worked pretty hand in hand with the design of it. I had a little bit of say in like colors and design, but not really much of it.
Well, whoever came up with these booths, love them.
Like
comfy.
Great.
Comfy. What do you got? 1, 2, get 8 people in here, I guess.
We haven't tested it, but probably I think like 6 or 7.
8 people if they really, you can get a family of 8 in
maybe,
here. Okay,
maybe,
with kids or whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah. But maybe not 4 beefy guys, 7 or 8 beefy guys. Yeah.
And will there be outdoor patio? There's going to be.
There will. We when we first took over this, we assumed that the patio was already like licensed.
Oh.
When we got inspected, we had set up tables and chairs, assuming that would be the case. So they would just transfer that license over, and they were like, "This has never been permitted for this." Cool. So we had to reapply. So I would imagine that's going to be 6 months down the road. We'll have a patio.
Yeah.
So July.
Yeah.
Right when you need it.
Exactly.
Just a bit of history for you two youngins. Okay. This used to be one of the epicenters of good food in this town. I mean, back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean the 90s and the early aughts. It's where right down where Cleaver is right there was the original Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, which was the first big chain steakhouse, which had a lot to do with the great restaurant revolution starting in the early 90s here. And there was a place called Milano down here, which transferred here from Washington, D.C., and was there for a while and pretty decent. It's now a Japanese thing. Marrakesh has been here forever.
Yep.
I remember doing a review when I was on KNPR radio of Marrakesh back in 1998, 1999, with the belly dancers. And it's still going strong.
Totally.
I think so they've got that. Middle Child didn't make it, but I think something decent will come in here. But there's always been... this was Firefly. The original Firefly was on the corner.
Yep.
It's had several incarnations since then. There's a pretty good gastro izakaya down here, right in between.
Correct.
And it's kind of gone hemmed and hawed over the years. Across the street, where it was, which is now Del Frisco's, was, wait for it, Nikki Blair's. You remember Nikki Blair's?
No.
You youngsters?
Yeah.
Nikki Blair's was a big deal in Hollywood, restaurateur, and he moved here in I think 95, 96, 97, thereabouts. and it was like the C&B scene. It was like, it was all a big local hangout, and a lot of celebs, a lot of local celebs came there. So it only lasted. I think he died of cancer.
Oh man,
less than 5 years into the run, and they closed it up, and then it became the Del Frisco Steakhouse. Wow. But
Nikki Blair,
Nikki Blair. So going back a good 25 years, when people went out to eat, it was in this area way before. The downtown was anything, or the Animal by Edo was there, or even Chinatown back then was just a few dozen restaurants.
Sure.
So, interesting little fact. So
it is, yeah.
End of history lesson. There will be a test. Hey.
Okay, so we're waiting on the outdoor patio to get permitted. Tell us kind of like the concept here, because Anima is its unique thing where you guys never really are like, we're going to do a Spanish restaurant. It's always got a fusion kind of cross hybrid. So explain Braseria.
So, well, just to touch on it too, there's always like a silver lining of Spain, I think, in our cuisine. When we opened up Anima, we wanted to be a little bit more on the Italian Spanish side. It's growing more and more to be honed in on Italy.
Okay.
Every new menu that we put out. But as the group grew, we started picking up so many of these guys that were French trained. Right now we have I think it's five guys that cooked at the back of house of Robuchon and L'Atelier.
Wow.
Tayden, Chef Roberto. So all these guys have grown with us, and they were at Anima for a little bit of time. They helped me with the Seattle project, but they always had that French training background. So that felt like a good segue into moving into doing something that they were very comfortable with. And especially with building this menu, that was all their say in all of it. So it just felt more natural. We always liked French cuisine. We actually were going to do, Braseria was going to be a restaurant, a partnership with Fine for a period of time.
Oh.
And this was about, maybe it would have been a year after Anima opened, but we were going to do it at Tivoli Village. And then Tivoli Village sold, and it pumped the brakes on that whole progress.
Good for you.
I know. I think
doing
it's
it.
sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of restaurants don't do well at Tivoli Village, so I think it was a near miss. Yeah.
Ada's has doubled their revenue. Moving downtown, Ada's has doubled their.
Gosh, I'm just I'm nervous. It was so close. You could have been to Tivoli.
Oh, we had the keys. We had design done. It was crazy. So yeah, I mean, I like the Fine family. They're awesome, but it was definitely a near miss not doing it there.
Yeah.
So now here we are, Spanish, French cuisine. The menu is really fun.
The menu also gives a lot of Parisian vibes here. Okay,
yes.
It totally does. I mean, the design. I mean, I love how you keep your foot in Spain, with the croquetas and the jamón ibérico and things like that. But there's a lot of, the Parisian gnocchi, the French onion soup. I'm glad you have a risotto on the menu. Can't wait to try. We should have gotten it the other night.
I'll send it next time.
Mr. didn't want to order anything.
Well, I was stuffed. I mean,
because he went to the Vintner
Grill. For that, I apologize. Okay, but but the lobster thermidor, the whole Dover sole, which we did have, which was killer.
Awesome.
Killer. And I don't want to say anything out loud, but let's say it kicks the ass of certain other Dover soles in town. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's a really fun menu. I like it. It's approachable. It's going to have something for everyone. I think some of the things that we had that really stuck out were these prawn cigares.
Yep.
Is that, I've never even seen that or heard of it.
Sure. I Chef Tayden would have a better description, but I think that's a Robuchon riff.
Yeah. They did it with the brick pastry, which is the phyllo pastry they wrap around it.
And that's becoming a huge favorite in this restaurant.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I was getting kidding. I liked it.
This beet tartare, the golden tartare, was excellent. It had this mustard.
I have to admit, I actually like that too. And I hate shit like that. I usually do.
What do you think of the green tartare with the other restaurants? Have you ever had that?
Oh, I have. Yes, the cucumber.
Exactly.
Yes.
That was the spinoff.
Yes.
So when we opened Edo and Anima, and honestly, it's at La Loba, green tartare was like one of our signature dishes. When we were talking about this, I was like, guys, I don't care what you do, keep it, but we're not doing green tartare. They agreed. So this was like our newest version of that dish.
I love it. It's very unique.
Well,
You won't find it.
Let me ask the controversial question, though. French food I think it's having a moment. Nobody loves French food in this whole town more than I do.
Sure.
But it's a ballsy move to open a French brasserie. I mean, even with the Spanish, accents, in a town that hasn't been, I mean, every other restaurant, as we know, is a steakhouse or an Italian restaurant. I mean, what convinced you that France is going to sell in this location?
There's always a level of risk to it. We're definitely on the side of like trying to bring some cool, new, innovative ideas to Vegas. And if we think of the group, we obviously we have the Spanish thing, but we like the idea of opening different concepts and seeing what works and having we built a pretty cool following of definitely locals, and this is just another country's option that they can now explore with us.
Yeah. Kind of like what Steven Starr does in Philadelphia.
Sure.
What McNally has done Keith McNally has done in New York City with his restaurant groups, and ends up getting different concepts, some of which are all over the map and really, really solid. You get that reputation. It's a license to print money. Okay. Well, good for you.
I loved what Roberto said the other night when we were in here. He goes, Italian or Spanish and French cuisine are so kind of like history driven, rigid, like you must do X, Y, and Z. But when you kind of mash them up, it almost liberates you to cross into those lines.
Yeah, totally.
And that's where you see these fun dishes like the golden tartare. What else? The caviar and churros.
The buckwheat churros.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yes, who was licking them off her hand.
They're very cute. I mean, I love it. You're doing a service that people enjoy. They love the presentation of caviar service. They love the celebratory nature of it for what it's worth. But
all those fishy eggs.
Are you not a caviar fan?
I used to be.
Okay.
So they started putting it on potato chips.
Yeah.
And baked potatoes and pizza and
chicken nuggets.
Chicken skins.
And tacos. Yeah. Back in the day when it was kind of special, I loved it. But we'll leave that debate for another time.
He hates like the bastardization of caviar is.
Yeah.
Where it's gone.
I love the classic.
Sure.
Which is
with
what
the
you guys
blini
do.
or the little thing with a little sour cream and onion, and it hits. That's the way it should be. When you start throwing it on Cheerios, I draw the line. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a classic caviar service with the egg, the chives, the creme fraiche. Forget what else it came with. Capers, maybe? Did it come with?
Yeah, chopped capers or whatever. Yeah.
But then instead of the blini, you get a buckwheat churro. That's
and you can
really
kind of
cool.
like dip it in it. So it was good.
So I really like that. What else did we have?
What didn't we have? Okay. I mean, let's talk about the French onion cappelletti. Okay. My wife loved the Fougas loved it.
I loved it.
I liked the individual portions of it. I love the cappelletti and I like the soup. I kept wondering why they're together. Explain yourself, Joseph.
Deal.
Mikulich.
I think, and I would love your opinion on this. Like, all these chefs opening restaurants, they always want to do something relatable, but try and lay out something different that like identifies them as like, oh, this is our dish. And I think it's always like a negotiation side of it. I think the taste is great of it. Putting it in the almost like the brodo, the broth that it lays in.
Brodo,
exactly.
Because I looked at it.
It's definitely like a twist on it. I will say people love it. I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing to share with the soup side of it. But I think that what it's going to evolve into is when we're about to start rolling out the tasting menu side. And rather than it being a big bowl for the center, everyone will get their own individual small one.
With a couple of tortellini.
So you have a spoon, one bite, or move on.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I loved it. And that was my only thing. It's so rich. It really is a one bite dish, but it's unique. I like the presentation. I was even thinking of just, those soup spoons with one little, yes. And then you just enjoy that and get in, get out, but very unique. Really loved it. I can't believe you. What?
Don't smirk at me.
Can't
Don't look at
believe
me in that
you.
tone of voice. Okay.
John, for whatever it's worth, wanted to order the lobster thermidor the entire time.
Yeah, but I couldn't fit it. But let me tell you about the superstar of the menu, which was right in my wheelhouse. I don't know, get it on the
we'll share it on the screen.
The
foie gras tart.
Oh,
insane, out of this world.
Yeah, very good.
It's
amazing, awesome. Plug in an adjective, okay? This thing is like pure France on a plate, rich as fuck. but it's supposed to be.
Sure.
With the sauce and the little mi-fui tart underneath it. I mean, to me, this is the reason to come. I mean, you're always looking for signature dishes. Mm-hmm. This could be one. The Dover sole could be one. According to my wife, the French onion capelletti will be one.
I second that.
And her. I love the golden tartare too. But I'm telling you, this foie gras stayed with me.
Awesome.
In more ways than one. I mean, it fills you up, but it's oh.
Now, I'm curious of your opinion, because it has a little sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Do you like it where it is on the menu, or would it be better suited on dessert?
See, this is a great
I've been fighting with this like crazy.
Because I said that to our server when she delivered. I said it was so great because it has these stewed apples, the caramel. It's so decadent and it is sweet and it's rich. I was like, I need vanilla ice cream with this or something. Just because it's so, I don't know. I think it's something you can play with, but it's a really unique, fun
A classic French gastronome would say you serve it with a Madeira, with a sauterne, with a sweet wine to counter that richness and everything, to complement the apple stuff as an early starter. But I get it, it could, but I don't think you'll sell as
it won't sell as much.
Yeah, you'll sell more of them right here.
I agree.
I would have a giant cutout in the menu and just put a picture of the foie gras right here. Okay,
even when I poured the wine, I was like, it's a little bit of we're pouring sauterne right now. Yeah. I know, like the pairing, I know makes sense, but. In the middle of you were about to get entrees, and I poured sauterne for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I can't. It's too much of a good thing, but.
And I wouldn't be living up to my name if we didn't order the Braseria burger that you have. We ordered that with the Comté cheese, and I have to tell you, quickly rose to my top 5, if not top 3 burgers in town.
Thank you.
It's simplicity, the balance of it all, the meat was just really great. And I talked to the food gal who also is an aficionado of the burger, or the burgers around town. She said that one was something she woke up and was like still thinking about. It was so well done on that. Congrats. I love it.
But here's the thing I didn't do the other night, and I will when I come back. I will intentionally at some point come here and order things that I would not ordinarily like,
I love that.
Because you have to do that.
Totally.
I mean, you've done it a long time. And I would, and I'm not that I have anything against it, but I want to see what you do with the hamachi crudo.
Sure.
The Parisian gnocchi, which is a classic dish. I want to see how these guys do it, because it can be gummed up, and that's the operative word more than anything. The raviolis, of course. I don't give a shit about roasted cod, but I want to see how well they do something like that. And then there's patatas bravas again.
Yeah,
I mean, you judge a Spanish. It's so simple, but when he had a good one hits, it's ethereal.
Have you had our bravas?
I have.
It's
maybe
they're like French fries.
It's so funny.
No, they're chunks. There's chunks with a.
Not ours.
Theirs are like
ours have become like this. Out of all the dishes we've ever made, that is the most viral dish we've ever made.
Didn't you win best French
fry of Nevada? And then a video.
Obviously, I have not had theirs.
You have. It comes in a tin, and there's like sticks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's like 20 layers.
Oh, yes. Oh, you do the...
we mandolin the potato.
Kind of thing going on.
Exactly.
Yes, I have had them. And yes, they deserve all the accolades. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the classic patatas bravas that maybe Oscar served me a long time ago.
Yeah,
those things are. So this is... You're taking that menu.
Yeah.
Good. You're keeping that, because that's...
People love that dish.
Oh, you gotta ask, where's the bikini sandwich?
That's something that might come back. We might do so part of why I love that dish.
Yes.
I think everyone loves that dish. But the ham and cheese kind of play, we decided to put that in the croqueta as a croque monsieur. So I didn't want like two dishes
Sitting
similar.
side by side.
I agree. It's it's one of your group staples where
Totally.
but
I like the simplicity of the menu too. I want to, my big thing, cut down menus. I can't stand menus that are too long. You can read this thing, an idiot can read it, and within 30 seconds get the sense of the menu.
Totally.
And then you've got, of course, your steaks and your chops because you've got to have those, and you're going to sell a ton of those too.
I'd imagine. Yeah.
And it's competitively priced. I was the bone in New York the tomahawk that we pay. What do we now pay? $300 for it at Cipriani.
Really?
Yeah, it's $300. It's bumping up there. 280.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
How many ounces?
Probably 32, 35, 36 ounces.
Cipriani's is good. I know you guys love that place.
Yeah. The steak is good, but none of the restaurants are not cheap anymore, and good restaurants are not cheap. This is not a cheap restaurant, but neither do you look at the menu and go, "Holy shit, they're raping me." So.
Okay, I think we need to take a break.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about the cocktail program, the wine list, and then ask just some fun questions.
Deal.
So everyone can learn more about you and this space and how we got here. So let's do that.
Yeah, we'll get real nerdy, okay? Food dork porn coming up, okay?
I'm the best.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time.
The best.
Big egos, greed, and sleazy schemes. We've had enough. Welcome to Sam & Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way, because you deserve a team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. Sam & Ash Injury Law, because you deserve what's right.
Pop music. Pop music.
Here we are. We're still at Braseria by Edo here in the Collective off of Paradise, just a few steps away from the Strip, the convention center here in Vegas. We're with Joe Mikulich. Can you say it now, John?
I always want to say Luch, but it's Lich. Mikulich. Mikulich.
You got
so
it.
the U is just swallowed really fast, right?
Right.
All right, so this.
Something, before we get into the wine and cocktail program, I want to touch on a few things we missed because we did all the food menu in the first half of the show. Tableside service.
Yep.
There's going to be raclette.
Raclette cheese. Yeah. There's a couple of them. So we're going to do the whole heating element, doing the cheese for burgers or whatever else wants to.
Have you seen this heating element? You got to look. Yeah, see them.
I'll have to see
You
it.
plug them in, and there's just it's like a light that it's like a fluorescent light that heats the cheese up.
Oh, that's going to go viral.
It's almost
Everyone's
like
going to Instagram that.
You know, like the taco spot where they shave.
Yes.
Yeah.
It heats it like that.
And so you've got a wheel of cheese that's just constantly getting
Like,
melted.
yeah.
Oh, that's.
I went to a restaurant in the wintertime, a couple winters ago in Paris. The entire restaurant was a raclette restaurant, very informal, and they crammed you into tables. I mean, like this, and every table has one of these things. They bring it to the table.
Oh.
And imagine like doubling of the seating. And so you're sitting there in these little narrow tables. There's this heating element on the table, and the guy comes by and is scraping the cheese. And it's just, it was delicious. And it was also like 12 degrees outside. So it just fit. You know what I mean?
Needed all the body heat, cheese heat, everything.
A raclette is just, that's going to be a viral moment for you right there.
Now, is there tableside tartare also?
Steak tartare.
Okay.
We do that. We started doing that idea at in Seattle. It turned out to be a huge hit. And honestly, like we're always big on tableside guest interactions. I think it adds a lot of value for those that want to have the conversation and just like another individual touching the table and talking.
Well, I love it. And that leads me into the cocktail program because we ordered some gin drinks and they came tableside. They made the gin. What was it? I had the Negroni-ish.
As a boomer, I'm not sure I approve of all of the names of the cocktails.
Maybe so. We're a little edgy.
Allow me, I'm just going to say that my mother, God rest her soul, this would probably be offended.
Which one? Which one?
No, not offended. I'm kidding. Let's just go through. I love the names. I think they're great, actually. I do. Let's go through Teenage Dirtbag. Corpse Reviver. That's classic New Orleans right there.
Sure.
On Stranger Tides, Cigarettes After Sex, Johnny. I can hear my mother and my grandma going, Johnny, do they have to name it after sex? I can just hear them in my ear. Dirty Dancing, Danger Close, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. I love that one. Lowrider, Hooked on a Feeling. B.J. Thomas song, by the way, from the 60s. Little old thing. Really, really cool stuff. Paging Dr. Sunshine sounds like a good drug. Then I think I knew a drug dealer I called him Dr. Sunshine. Stranger Things, Love Island. This is really, what's my age again? Cool stuff. Who put this together?
Relatable names. There's some movie themes, obviously like the songs, things like that, but they're all things that it checks boxes for a lot of people to relate to. These are all ideas from Joe Arakawa. He's my beverage director for the group. Comes up with all the creativity side. He's a beast.
And they're French and Spanish also. These are like traditional kind of riffs.
The gin tonic whole thing. That's a signature thing of the group. So we do the gin tonics table side. The whole cart rolls up and all that jazz. That's where you see like the nod to Spain section.
And we commented, this cart service does not immediately add commas to your drink or extra zeros. Remember, you were talking about how you go to restaurants and you get an old fashioned that shows up on a cart and suddenly now it's a $200 drink.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember it cut one of my favorite steakhouses. They said, would you like an old fashioned, Mr. Curtis? I went, yeah. And I just as she's starting to play, I go, how much is it? $75. For something I'm drinking in my mouth? I mean, people are a little nuts. I get it if you're a show-offy conventioneer, high roller, you want to show off in Vegas. But yeah, mere mortals want to pay mere mortal prices for these drinks.
And so I think a lot of people get nervous when they hear all the tableside service that suddenly it jacks the price up on the item. And that's not the case here because it's just, these gin and tonic prices are cheaper than you can find in the Arts District. So
shots fired.
I love the Arts District, but I'm saying they're not bringing it to my table.
Kim Owens, do you hear that? James Trees? You hear that, Bar Ginza?
But it's a really, really creative menu. But I read somewhere that there's chartreuse. Oh, here it is, on draft.
Yep. So
why?
I love chartreuse. I've always been a fan. I wanted to do this idea. So how it came about was when we were in Seattle, there's a famous bar. If you ever go to Seattle, I'll tell you to go there. It's called Cannon.
Okay.
Probably the sickest liquor list I've ever seen, especially in the United States. And one of their chefs joined us at La Loba soon after we opened, and he took me there. And amongst all like their liquors that are like impossible to find, I don't even know how they get them. But they had chartreuse on draft. And I was like, how on earth do you get this done? And they were nice enough to kind of give me the walkthrough. And it's actually not as hard. It's a little bit of upfront work.
Wasn't there a time of coming out of COVID where it was hard to get chartreuse in America?
It still is hard.
It is. But,
one of them, right, is harder to get, or they both
green,
harder?
The green one's harder. The green one's harder than the yellow. The green, I know that because it's more intense. Right,
and the VEPs are like the ageable ones. Those are insanely expensive. So knowing that I was going to do this French idea and we wanted to do this chartreuse idea, we've been little by little buying as much as we could. So now we have the ability to put it in a keg. And it's going to be slightly chilled, a little bit more easy to drink. But
get you hammered, Ash.
I love chartreuse in drinks. Yeah. I didn't really know it was a thing people drink.
It's another thing that your generation ruined for all of us.
Probably.
10 years ago, they couldn't give chartreuse away. And I'm not lying.
Sure.
I mean, it was in every bar in the world in America, and it just sat there. And the people that really liked it in French restaurants, I remember they had it at Bradley Ogden and Caesar's Palace. He had some old stuff there, the H stuff.
Yep.
And it just sat there, and I'd come in, they'd pour it for me. but it wasn't a big deal. Suddenly, with the Instagram revolution and your generation, you made it popular.
We're making it hip again.
You made it hip. You totally made it hip. And now, I can't get my goddamn chartreuse, except at Braseria.
Yeah. We'll get you a little shot.
Come here.
It's French, is that, or just,
I think it's so Carthusian monks. There was, if you look at the history, it went to Spain for a period of time, and now those Spanish bottlings, I don't know what years those were, they're like gold now.
Yeah.
And now it went back, I believe, back to France, but the whole like marketing side of it, I don't know if it's true or not. There's all this like allure about it.
Yeah, and then they start. Some things get apocryphal. You don't know what it is. But yeah, it's supposed to be made with like 70 different herbs and spices, so to speak.
Right.
And by monks? Is it monks?
By Carthusian monks, yes.
Okay.
And it's still made there in one place, and the recipes are a secret, and there are dozens and dozens of spices. I mean, I think it's 78 herbs.
I think it's 130. And there's only 2 or 3.
I didn't know there were 138 herbs in the world. I thought 78 was pushing it.
Next up, John's going to be doing a census of the herbs.
Yeah.
So wait, 100 go ahead.
130 herbs is what I was told, I think. And then there's only 2 or 3 monks that know the recipe right now.
Right. It's a closely guarded secret.
Yeah. And they limited production. I can't remember. It was last year or the year before. They made this big announcement that the production of chartreuse was getting in the way of their prayer. So they announced that they were going to make it harder. Now, if that's true or not, I have no idea. But it is not easy. We only can get, I think right now in Las Vegas, we can get 2 bottles of chartreuse a month.
Green or yellow?
Green and yellow.
Green and yellow.
And sometimes we just get shorted when we put the order. So now that I have a couple of different restaurants, we just order from each of them. So we've been building it up that way.
This is just freaking astonishing to me. I mean, I kid you not. This was such a small, tiny niche of liqueur lovers who knew about chartreuse like 20 years ago.
Like Amaros, and I think those have had, they've
had a day too.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what hasn't come back? Galliano liqueur. You remember the good old Harvey Wallbanger from the 1970s? Well, I'm waiting for that to come back some point. Now it just there's someone at every bar with dust on it because they don't. Do you even use it anymore?
Never. I don't even know. You know what was another one? What's that little bottle? And you have a shot of it. It's green.
Underberg.
Yeah.
That's still like a geeky bartender drink.
It's supposed to help with an upset stomach. Yeah.
I see that at places because they don't have liquor licenses. They're beer restaurants, and they don't have a liquor license. And apparently, it's the way it's made lets them kind of bypass it. And I think there's also where all of these distributors have just pallets of these little paper wrapped bottles of Underberg, and they're just like,
that stuff is Underberg is really intense. Oh my God. Yeah. Just
bitter.
It's kind of one of those life passages or rites of passage that you have to do at some point at a bar.
It's like the modern, what's the, when they ice you?
Yes.
Whatever that natty ice is. That's a college thing. Forgive me. I'm debating.
Oh, Smirnoff Ice.
Yes. Like they do that kneeling and they have to chug it.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. It's a thing.
I'm drinking bourbon and Cokes. That was as exotic as I got in college.
What about absinthe? That's a French.
Totally.
It makes the heart grow fonder.
Absinthe?
Yes.
Absinthe. It took me a while.
Sharp as a bowling ball. This one.
I'm sober right now, so that's why.
Absinthe is huge.
Yeah.
We use a lot of like Pernod in that. You had the scallop, right?
Yes.
We didn't have scallop.
Yes, we did.
I sent it. Yeah. With the grapefruit.
Yep.
We did. And
that had the
beautiful.
And that had the Pernod. It had a Pernod vinaigrette. So we use it in the cooking side, in cocktails for sure. I know there's like that whole cool absinthe where you melt the sugar. We might grow into something like that. I remember when
I do it in my house.
Do you?
Yeah, she's seen it.
It's so cool.
I've got a sterling, an antique sugar melter thing that you put the sugar on and you light it. Well, you soak it, then you light it, and then it kind of drips into the drink.
Cool.
And you kind of absinthe. The sugar is good because it cuts through a little bit of that medicinal quality.
There's so much black licorice that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Steve, we're talking about all the great ways you can get drunk at Braseria.
Well,
funny.
All the great ways, but we haven't really even talked about one of your favorites is the wine program.
Definitely.
I mean, Spanish and French wines, both regions that are wildly well known for all of the great bottles and producers. So tell us about your approach to this wine list.
Yeah. So there's always going to be Spain, where my background comes from at Bazaar. I love Spanish wines. There's always going to be a little bit of that. But this being a French restaurant, I'm really doubling down on Burgundy. The champagne list is going to grow to where I think I'd pour you guys some grower champagne. Mm-hmm. I want to have like a cool, affordable list of sub 100, if I can make it happen, bottles of champagne.
I would lean heavily into Beaujolais. I don't see enough of that in town.
Tons. I have like
it's so easy to drink.
So good.
Yeah, and it's
so good.
And Burgundy. You know that my favorite quote about Burgundy. Burgundy is a beautiful thing if you can get someone else to buy it for
Literally.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is expensive.
I mean, but there's a lot more. Basically Cru Bourgeois Burgundies and things out there now. There used to be, but yeah, Burgundy at the higher end, it's insane.
Even Bordeaux is getting astronomical.
Yeah. But Beaujolais is where it's at. Southern Rhone, all that stuff.
Yep, definitely.
And Spain.
The value in Spain is insane.
Yeah, exactly.
It still is.
And the sparklies. I mean, we were there like I guess 2 years ago now. Time flies. I was blown away by the Spanish wine lists. The good stuff was still approachable, except you get into the Vegas Sicilia stuff. But that's really tiny.
Oh,
but the higher end, Riviera del Duaros and things were just incredibly juicy and complex. And, they were like under 100 euros.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy good stuff.
It's every time I go to Spain, I get frustrated with how approachable the price points are. Mm-hmm. And you can drink insane bottles of wine, but when you come home, it's like the ticket to get the bottles here adds 3 times the amount.
Yeah, it's got to get taxed at how many different layers just to get into.
Yeah.
Thank you. 3-tier system that you have to go through. That's really what we're talking about here.
Absolutely.
The middleman just takes the giant chunk, and by the time you get it, it's already double what you're going to pay before over there. So you've got to get a markup to make it worth your while. And guess who pays? Guess who takes it in the shorts?
And current vintage. One of my gripes with Vegas, which I wish changed, is we can't, there's no like delayed gratification mindset of wine, the Strip especially. You get current vintage of whatever and it just flies off the shelf. There's a couple restaurants that like will hold back some bottles, let it mature. Mm-hmm. And like, there's some restaurants that just only have current vintage bottles of wine. And it's like, man, it's infanticide, honestly.
Yeah, and you'll see a good restaurant. I'm not going to name any names. If I thought about it, I could. You could too, right? And you go, look at all these great wines. Vintage 2022, 2023, 2021. I'm going, okay, but I don't want to drink a left bank Bordeaux that's 2 years old, 2.5 years old.
Nothing has rested. It's like with that time in bottle, it gets so much more complex. Yeah. You start to lose the reason why people spend so much money on old bottles of wine is because they just get so much more developed. Mm-hmm.
And they basically, and I would say the Bordeaux's French wines are the biggest offenders there.
Totally.
Because they can sell it. I'm talking about not the first gross, but like the second and third gross and everything. And they're all like 2 or 3 years old.
Right.
And I'm going, do Cru Bocayo 2023, and it might be $320 or something. I go, that's it? Yeah, you can pay it. And you're like, no, that wine you're not even supposed to look at that wine for 10 years. Okay.
Literally.
Yeah. Put it away 10 years from now, it gets better.
Forget about it. Buy it and forget it. Literally. But that's hard to do.
They sell it here.
They do.
Yeah. Well, we could keep you on the spot about the.
So it's going to have Spanish, French influence. Is it a large list or?
Right now, I think it's sitting around like 220 labels.
Okay.
We need to see. The red cellar can hold about 1,000 bottles. I have a champagne cooler that's at a certain temperature, a white wine cooler that's at a certain temperature. I have room to grow. I don't really know how big I want this list to grow. Mm-hmm. Part of it, I just like interesting old wines. I don't like wasting space on wines that aren't going to sell. So it's really, I like looking at data, and after like a year, if I see what has been trending to move, cool. I always want like lower priced wines. I think that Vegas gets a bad rap for being overpriced, and I'm sure you've heard.
I'm the one doing the rapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that lists have to fill out and be approachable for everyone.
Well, I love that. I love your programs at every restaurant you've had. Anima by Edo has fantastic lists. Edo itself, now
Thanks.
Amador, always had great lists. Small, but well chosen. Everything's perfect. But let's talk about one of Ash's microaggressions about wine. She can't stand it when you order wine and it takes it so long to get to the table. Okay. She's such a pampered woman. Okay.
How long has it taken?
Yes.
Well, it takes a while. I mean, by the time it gets ordered, I have two gripes. One, ordering a wine off the list, it takes them 5 minutes to go back there because you gave them the number, and then they maybe come back and they check to make sure they got the right number. They go find out that they're out of that wine. And so now I've already ordered appetizers, entrees, whatever. Food shows up, and we're working on figuring out a replacement bottle.
Right.
So the grievance is the combination of sometimes it taking a lack of training on people where wine is stored and where to find it. And then 2, not having an up-to-date list.
That's too. So I agree. Well, and that's why I don't like lists that are like 1,000 SKUs, because it's definitely going to take 10 to 15 minutes. And then you go searching for it, and then you figure out it's 86, and you're like, oh, now I got to go waste even more time.
Well, now I'm eating my last scallop.
Yeah, and you're not even pairing it anymore.
And the wine pairing that I really wanted 20 minutes earlier is gone. You know, and then they come to, and then
So there's always that tension between wine service and food service, where the food might show up before the wine that I've designed to be paired with that food gets there, and it's now, do I let that dish melt or get room temperature? Like what? So yeah, it's a legitimate gripe.
I agree.
It's legit, but I think the higher in the restaurant, the more of a legitimate gripe it is. I guess I give more leeway to more casual restaurants, you know, because sometimes, I mean, and sometimes I don't. It doesn't happen in your restaurants, but sometimes the server is clueless, you know, and they go, you know, they wouldn't know a Chardonnay from a Sauv Blanc. They give a number, and then you can tell they're looking for Joseph. You know, where's Joe? You know?
Oh yeah, I've definitely learned what the repeat offenders are. So then I order the wine before I put in my food order, because I'm like, I'll wait. I know how to. I'll pace this myself.
That's what I mean. Maybe, you know, my team. I hope, and I'm blessed. I think that it works this way. But they're also instructed that if someone is looking at wine, there's an extra step that needs to go where, you know, every one of my restaurants has a sommelier if it's not me. So they are instructed to kind of now man the pace. So if you're looking at dishes and you're just ordered scallops and all this seafood, and then you order a bottle of Chablis to go with it, it's up to the sommelier to verbal or to ring in that food so they can time it out. Because that would be the worst. But that's a level of organization that you have to do. At least with my standards.
You don't see that in Chinatown much.
You don't. You don't. But it happens.
We have white, red, and pink. What else do you need?
It does. It happens at places on the Strip. It happens for whatever reason. And sometimes, you know, it's just someone new and they're figuring it out. But what do you think is one of the biggest wine list, or like when you walk into a restaurant, coming from your background, being a sommelier, running multiple restaurants now, what is something that you kind of always go, that's a miss? Is it, you know, it could be high-priced wines, not an emphasis on wine, or just anything really?
What do you look for? Like, how do you judge? Yeah.
On a wine list, I think the lower, it's so easy to spend money on, like for a wine buyer at a restaurant to spend money on the best, most expensive wines. Pick a region, and you know, it's always, and the Vegas is like the glitz and the glam side. So like they always have the first growth. They always have, you know, blue chip Napa. It's finding like the young up and coming producers that aren't priced super expensive yet. Finding them sub 100 that it's like quality. I always look for. Because I love spending money on wine, but also I have a collection. I like bringing wine in sometimes to restaurants and supporting as well. But like, I can't fathom spending a 4 times markup on something that I already own. You know, it's different with me when I go to look at a wine list, because I know every single, more or less, what the cost of that bottle is.
Right.
So I know how much restaurants are marking up.
So just how bad is the Fontainebleau ripping everyone off?
I haven't bought
Put him on the spot there.
I like some of the guys at Fountain Blue, so I haven't bought any wine, I will say, from there.
I just go by the glass now.
Sure.
When I look at a wine list, I got a very easy test. Does it piss me off? Does it not piss me off? Okay, that's my threshold. And if it immediately pisses me off, I just go, bring me a glass of Gamay Beaujolais or something.
Sure.
But yeah.
I think you gotta that's why it's so important to have. Like, I remember you were talking about the Rosso di Montalcino thing, right? Like, you have to, as a wine buyer, you have to make sure that you check boxes for each category that's very, very approachable. Even though you may not like the wine necessarily, you have to check that box for individuals. Because otherwise you'll get that bad rap as being like overpriced.
Right. And it happens right away. and you can't get out from under it.
Yep.
And as I use this as an example. I know I give downtown people a lot of grief sometimes. One thing that they did at Esther's Kitchen so smart when they launched it is, remember, their entire list was $40.
Yeah.
Right. Everything was kind of underpriced. Now, right away, within a month or two, they had a little reserve list printed up on 2 pages. If you kind of wanted to see the reserve list,
sure,
here it was, and it had a lot of interesting selections. They just had a small wine fridge with the better stuff. But right away, people went, "Hey, I'm here, $40 bottle of wine.
You got to do it.
All right, we got to do it. Look at this. We can get different whites and different reds, $40 each. Boom.
It's no brainer.
And that grabbed the public, as this place is not taking advantage of me right away. And that reputation, and their wine list is still good. Okay, now it's got all kinds of selections on it. But that kind of, you can gain a reputation like that very quickly, or you can lose it very quickly.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, there's no getting it back. If people go, "Oh, that place is ripping you off,"
right,
they're not getting it. No one's going to change that attitude, even if you do a complete about face.
Sure.
You said the infamous C word earlier.
What?
Corkage.
Corkage.
What is the most unreasonable corkage policy, or how do you approach that? Like, what do you?
I have an interesting philosophy on it. I think it's very funny when someone comes, like, I've worked in restaurants before where they're like, you show up with a bottle of wine and the entire staff just starts to like talk shit about it. It's like, "Oh, those guys got the bottle of wine." The Somm, like, you can see him like grudging, like pissed off.
Right.
And
it's with Zinfandel. What's not to love?
Honestly, almost every restaurant I've ever worked in has that like weird mentality. I think it's strange. I've tried to push this with my guys to not, obviously I want a sale, but it'd be better if they didn't do that and bought our wine. Of course, I'm like, no one's denying that. But I think it's also, what I'm trying to push with my guys is like, hey, they're still coming to your restaurant. I hope that bottle is something that's like something special or something cool. And honestly, if you go with that mentality towards those guests, I have some of the biggest supporters of this restaurant group that bring in their bottles of wine. They might also buy wines from us, but I'd rather have someone come and bring in their own bottle of wine and eat our food and talk about our restaurant on a monthly basis than never come back.
You're long game. You're not thinking just that one immediate experience.
I've been thumping that drum, for 30 years, though.
Well, I also
walk in, bring your own bottle. I don't care what it shouldn't be supermarket wine, but let's just say you're that big of a cheap ass, and it is. Okay. Then order a bottle from them too.
Yeah.
Order their cheapest bottle of wine or second cheapest bottle of wine.
I think
you immediately build goodwill that way.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's definitely a give and take. Back to where we are, Braseria. What are some of the signature dishes or dishes on the menu that are your personal favorites? I know it might be, or even drinks or wines. You can go anywhere you want with this. I know it's making you kind of pick your favorite child maybe, but like right now when you're looking at this, like what's something that you're just drawn to and you're excited for guests to try, or you think is maybe a must order for anyone?
I think for anyone that's followed the group, that golden tartare is a cool evolution. That's delicious and it's very unique. The steak tartare setup is fun. It's people can watch it. We toast the bone marrow and the juices fall into the meat. We mix that together, kind of bangs everything. I love that. This raclette setup is going to be.
Once you have that, you're a pro. You know how that works, and one table gets it.
Everyone does it.
And then everybody
it's good riddance.
is like, well, let's get one of those.
Sure.
Well, and it's going to be on every Instagram reel.
Probably John's
Yes.
favorite.
All the cheese pulls.
Okay, boomer. Okay. Yeah.
Those are huge. I honestly, I wish you had tried the lobster. Lobster is one of my favorite dishes here.
The lobster thermidor. We'll be back.
It's I'll show you. It's that meat brasa grill that we use. It's crazy what it does to meats.
Are you going to be serving at the bar too?
Absolutely.
Okay, for singles and things like that.
Totally.
'Cause I think that's a smart move. You know, you're going to get a lot of. That bar is beautiful. It's going to get a lot of action all by itself.
I think so. It's turning into it for sure. Yeah. The chartreuse program, I'm loving that. I think that the inexpensive price of trying chartreuse with what we're going to offer with this keg system is going to be fun. On the wine side, I mean, I've always loved Burgundy. I haven't had restaurants that focus on on France, so I'm really pumped to delve deep into that and build a cool program with regards to that. And none of it's crazy expensive. I don't think much Burgundy is. We're not going to have the DRCs of the world on the list. It's going to be.
Cru Chablis is one of the great unsung heroes of the white wine world.
Yeah.
Not you don't have to get the Grand Crus, but the Premier and even under the Village wines are wonderful. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So.
Ooh. Do you have any future projects on the horizon, or are you guys going to kind of sit into this
to be honest with you,
going?
I wish from my mental health standpoint that I could take a little bit of a break. However, in the shopping center where Anima is, we have taken over the old DW space.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to turn that into, the Gramercy's big fans of us, and we love them too. They've done amazing stuff for us. So we're going to turn that into a gastropub.
Oh, I read about this. I think we talked about it.
We talked about it.
Yeah, okay.
Elevated bar food.
They talked about it, but then they to get this open, we understood that you were peeling back on your timeline a little bit because this obviously didn't.
This delayed a little bit. Yeah, there was a lot of extra work that we didn't expect. Yeah. So now that this is about to be open, and I'm still going to spend most of my time here, but at least the construction side of that will start happening pretty soon.
Okay.
All right.
I'd imagine that'll probably open in probably, don't hold me to this, probably 5 months.
So down in the Southwest at the Gramercy.
Where I never go. That's why I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Because Anima by Edo is just a butthole for me, but I can be here in 10 minutes from my house.
Awesome.
So that's great.
I don't know our time.
I think we're...
but I've got to ask the infamous question of pet peeves.
Pet peeves.
So we always give restaurant owners the chance to do it both ways. When you go into a restaurant as a customer, what's a pet peeve that you experience while you're dining or drinking or whatever it is? And then also from the other side of the coin, what's a frustrating thing that you see customers do, or even employees or staff or other chefs or something like that?
Oh boy.
Because I think we've had like dirty kitchens was one. Someone not like having a dirty kitchen back of the house was a pet peeve.
Yeah.
Water, people not taking water seriously.
Well, there's a whole pet peeve.
Yes.
I follow lots of comedy restaurant people on the internet and Instagram of just a crazy employee, what chefs and owners have to put up with their staff.
Oh, yes.
A server who thinks a shrimp cocktail is a drink.
Yeah.
Okay, things like that. Then you have to tell them. There's a whole line of that. But you're a customer. You walk in. What don't you like to see when you walk into a restaurant?
Besides the Gen Z stare at a hostess
Gen
stand.
Z stare. When I'm a guest, I get very, very frustrated and the thing is because I'm in hospitality. I don't like when tables are constantly on their phone. They're almost like not paying attention to like what is going on, literally not paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And my generation is definitely the ones that are
So
doing this.
the people you're with when they're on their phones, or just anyone around you?
Because I know that I'm sitting there as like, in the restaurant world, and I'm not with restaurant people, and they just aren't giving, like this server's on they're trying to do their job. And I'm just getting frustrated. Like, why have you not picked a cocktail yet? It's been 20 minutes. Why?
Well, no, Joe, there are memes and skits on the internet about this where then people will be going like, and the servers comes around like 3 times, and then finally it's like, what? I'm sorry, can we get some appetizers around here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, let's get going. They act like they've never eaten before.
Yeah, it's like they get impatient or say stupid things when they're not paying attention to anything except, Melinda just told me that she's buying a puppy or whatever the hell you're talking about.
So anyone going to eat with Joe, put your phone away.
Let's get to work. Let's go.
Phone down.
Have fun, but let's go. I had a weird story with one. I won't tell you where it was because I still love these guys, but I don't like when bartenders get a little bit too protective or ego driven.
Okay.
I went with my sister is not in the restaurant world.
Yeah.
She has another business, completely different industry, but she obviously likes going to eat with me. We went to a bar and she doesn't know half of the names of any of these ingredients, right? And she was kind of confused and she asked the bartender, what do you recommend? The bartender couldn't be more interested. And he goes, I recommend everything. I made the entire program. And my sister was like, okay, well, and I was like, do you want something more spirit forward? Do you want something like more refreshing? Yeah. He could have asked any of those questions. And I looked at him.
Brown liquker, lighter liquor.
Anything. And he was like, they're all good. I made the whole list.
Sweet, smoky.
It was crazy. I honestly, I wanted to just go somewhere else after that. It was nuts.
That would be annoying. I agree. That would be brutal.
You know what? This is something I like, and I hope you train your servers. I've never had a bad server in one of your restaurants, but I like servers, bartenders with firm opinions like that. You know what I mean? Like they're like, no, kid, the risotto. Get the risotto. They just tell you right there.
Yeah.
They might both be good. But rather than just going, they're both wonderful.
They're not both wonderful. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, sometimes they'll just say, I'm sorry, I love risotto, and this is a good risotto.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what you want to hear, whether it's a bartender or a server. Okay, because you feel like you're in a partnership at that point with them, rather than they're just this arm's length distance.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you ask for help or guidance, you're going, I'm stuck between these two. Which one? Yeah. Because I think your pet peeve also is when you place an order and a server goes, good order.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
Family Feuds it.
Encouragement.
The other is everything wonderful? I'm taking the first bite of the French onion capelet. Is everything wonderful?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
2 seconds.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Okay, so do you have a pet peeve from the restaurant side of things that you don't like when, I guess maybe customers that are always on their phones, probably?
Maybe customers on the phone. We try, it's hospitality at the end of the day. It's hard doing what we do and then people come in and try and drastically change a dish.
Oh, yeah.
It's very difficult to do.
I feel your pain. Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah, can you
shoot Americans?
Can you do this with less salt? But this one, can you take the cheese out of the tortellini and
right.
What are we doing?
I want this overstuffed baked potato, but can you take the bacon and the sour cream out of it?
Yeah,
okay? And it's like, well, just get a baked potato. Okay?
Sure. I would just never go to a restaurant. I like to think that you go to a restaurant, this was made because it's the chef's envisionment of what it should taste like. I'm not trying to change what they're doing.
Yeah.
This all started with my generation, and I give you guys shit.
Chicken finger generation.
For this, I apologize for all the boomers, because this is what started in the 60s and 70s with the having your way, you know, and everything. It started with Wendy's. It literally started with Wendy's and Burger King. Okay, Burger King, excuse me, not Burger King. And having your way, and everybody just took it to heart. And we have a buddy who's going to Japan soon, and he'd never been. And I said, and he's got a picky eater for a spouse. And I said, you better train her. Japanese aren't changing.
They're not changing anything. Spaniards don't do it either.
Yeah. It's like, this is the food. Order it or don't order it.
Right. This is not for you then.
Yeah. You don't like it with this. Can I not get that?
Traveling is where I learned to eat like that, is because you just got into no one is modifying it. I don't have a say in anything that's coming out. So you just order it and eat it and figure it out and hope you live.
My dad was the biggest meat and potatoes guy on earth. Mm-hmm. No adventuresome palate at all. My mom was a semi-vegetarian. They went to Europe not like I do anymore, but back in the day, they went 3 or 4 times in their life. I said, what does Dad eat? She goes, oh, he's in a foreign country. He'll just add, and you go, well, okay. She says, he's perfectly okay.
Sure.
You know, when he's eating a weird sausage he's never seen before, you know, a dumpling the size of your head, you know, Germany, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, because that was the right attitude. They were smart enough to not think, oh, here, I'm going to make them. Of course, this is back in the 70s and 80s before this. I want it my way. Well, I'm paying the bill. Why can't they just do it? Because, you know, God, I want to.
Makes it harder.
Yeah.
Well, I think as consumers, we need to be more responsible and discerning between the Burger Kings where you're going just for a product, whereas here you're going to an experience. People have put a lot of thought into crafting a menu, an item, a dish with every ingredient being thoughtfully selected and trusting it. And you will have misses. There will be things that come out and you're like, I don't like it. No, it's probably not the chef. It's maybe me, but that's part of going out and eating.
Go on Yelp though. I mean, 1 star. You know, I asked them if they could take to this, and they said no.
Yeah.
1 star. That place sucks.
Sure.
You know. Don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yelp is crazy.
Right, what's
Brasserie by Edo. I think you guys are open 5 to 10.
5 to 10
every day, or
we're closed on Sundays right now.
Okay, Monday to Saturday.
Okay.
5 to 10 p.m.
You'll find me in this booth.
This is
early in the week.
John Curtis Memorial booth.
Yeah.
And reservations, open table. Did we miss anything?
No, reservations through 7 rooms.
7 rooms.
7 rooms.
Oh, you're.
So I got a new app now on my thing.
We'd have a whole other show on reservation systems, but I have a firm believer that Open Table will eventually be gone.
All right, that's fine.
Your own press release.
People can.
They messed it up.
Call the restaurant too.
I sent you the wrong one.
I just want to be cleared right now. I'm exonerated.
It was me.
7 rooms for
7 rooms.
reservations, Monday through Saturday, 5 to 10 p.m. here in the Collective on Paradise, just off the Strip.
Just show up and say, eat, talk, repeat. Told us we could get a table.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I'll figure it out.
Braseria by Edo.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here
Thank
we
you,
are.
Joe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yes.